Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. It's Wednesday, I think it's the 20th of May. It's a nice sunny day here in my hometown, Peabody, Massachusetts, and I'm getting really excited for this wonderful weather. How about you guys? Are you starting to see better weather in your neck of the woods? I think it's coming. It seems rather delayed. This year, my peonies haven't even, they're budding a little bit. Hi, Emmy, good morning. Hi, Dorothy, good morning. My peonies, which normally come out definitely before Mother's Day. Good morning, Penny. So glad to see you too. Wonderful. And so, my peonies are like, do we bloom? Do we not bloom? I don't know. So that's been kind of an interesting thing to watch. So hello, Christine. Welcome. Yeah, nice weather, Dawn, up in Canada, right? Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Susan, nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm going to give it a minute or so for people to come on. But this morning, we're going to be doing this really fun, and it's a free file. Hi from Texas. Oh, hot. Yes. My friend recently moved to Texas and from Wisconsin. And boy, she's really having a hard time with the weather. Thanks, John. I didn't realize that I had much of a Boston accent. Good morning, Pat. I am having a wonderful day. Yes, beautiful sunny day in Michigan. Oh, Susan, I saw on the news that you guys, there were some dam compromised dam. I hope that's not near you, but boy, people are really struggling there. Oh, hi, Midge. Welcome. So, okay, so today I thought that we would kind of start thinking towards Father's Day. You're at a doctor's appointment. Well, say hi to Doctor. Hello, Doc. You can listen in your earphones or something like that. Oh, you live downstate. So this was upstate near the fingers or the thumb of the mitten. Susan. Yeah, wow. It sounded like really terrible, troubling news. So anyway, so I'm starting to think about Father's Day, and of course Memorial Day is this weekend, and I know a lot of us are not going to be partying or whatever. We probably won't have our parade as we normally do. I don't think so. But we're starting to spend a little bit more time outside, and so I have a couple of fun projects that I want to show you for Memorial Day. But then I started thinking, Father's Day is coming up too, and I have this really great file that I got from Dreaming Tree, which you can find at 3dsvg.com. And of course, now that we have the joy, I wanted to see if the file could be converted to smaller size. So this is the original file. It's like a little box or a bag or something. I suppose you could put candy or a gift card in there or something for Dad. And so then I started fiddling with the sizes, and I want to show you how to do that. And this is still, it's much small, half the size, I suppose, but still adorable. Both sizes. So, and could still fit a gift card or something in there, money or whatever. And I found some little rhinestones and put them on here. This reminded me of the Avengers, whatever that thing is, the gauntlet or something like that. So, I want to show you how to find this file and how to get it into Design Space, and then also how to resize it, and then we'll put it together. It's really simple. We've done it a couple of times before. So, it's mini. It's really, but it's, big enough. I think it could hold you know, a gift card or something like that. So we're going to go to Dreaming Tree, which is at 3D. Good morning, Patricia, which is at 3dsvg.com. And when you go there, here's the thing about Dreaming Tree, is that they have dozens of free files, and then they also have these really extraordinary big files. And the most recent one appears on their front page, which is a hot air balloon, which I did purchase, but I haven't put together yet. I particularly like this little it's a candy thing, but I think it would look cute as a popcorn thing. And then, of course, a box card. So they sell mostly in kits. And when they come up with something new, they usually give it away for a while. So this one is actually free, but you have to purchase like $10 worth of stuff. And if you're not in the market to purchase stuff, that's fine too, because they have all of these free files, which right here, free SVG files. So you can click on there. And these are just smaller versions of their bigger files. They're a good thing. Oh, yeah, Susan, you did? Yeah, I love the new bundle too. Hi, Felicia. I just made the Memorial Day luminary, the one with the badge, like the patriotic one, Susan. Yeah, it was really stunning. I thought it came out really stunning. So all of these, there's so many, and they span all of the seasons. There's a lot of cards if you're interested in cards. And there are a lot of these luminaries or tea light holders. There's a snowflake one. There's a firefly one. There's the patriotic one, which we did. So there's quite a few projects here, and they're a good way to get started with Dreaming Tree files, because Dreaming Tree files are very detailed. I got the balloon bundle too, but I haven't attempted it yet. So if you go to the free files, you can scroll through, and there's, I think, 10 pages. And this particular one that we're doing is on page 9. It's called the Royal Treats Box. You probably could also search for it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through the process of adding it to your cart. It is free, but you have to do an order for it, okay? So you put it in your cart, and then you can proceed to checkout. And if you have an account already, it will fill in for you if you're logged in. And if not, you have to create an account, but it's, no cost. And then you place the order. And then after a minute or two, or whatever, less than a minute, you're going to get the opportunity to download this file right here, Royal Treats Box, free SVG. This little box, you're going to click on this little box. Now, I use a Macintosh, and it automatically opens up, but it will come down as a zipped file. You may need to unzip it. Mine doesn't require that, but if you need to unzip it, you can get a zip widget, it's like a little piece of software, okay, to open it. But you'll see in my downloads, here it is on the top of my downloads, the Royal Treat Box 3D SVG. And under that, you're going to get a PDF, which is always helpful. I always use their PDFs, and it will tell you all the supplies you need. And in this case, you just need one sheet of red cardstock, one sheet of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock, and then some gold, whether it's going to be foil. I did it in glitter, but you could do it in foil, the gold, and then rhinestones if you want. One of the things that you notice when you're first looking at this PDF is this part here, which is a print then cut feature. And if you are afraid or you have never done the print then cut, you want to make, thank you, Amy. Hi, Amy. Wanda. Hi, Wanda. And you want to kind of avoid the print then cut. I'm going to show you how to do that too. Okay, so let's go to Design Space, and now that we've downloaded the software, we need to upload it into Design Space. So we're going to hit this button here, upload, okay? And you'll notice here, this is sort of all of my uploaded images. It's sort of like a little library of all the images. It only shows you 12 images, but you can, if you're a person like me and you upload a lot of, images, you're going to have, like, I have over 1,000 images sort of just sitting here. It doesn't mean that this is a file, okay? It just means it's an uploaded image. You have to still bring it into the canvas and create a file. So a lot of people get confused by that, thinking, well, I uploaded, why is it not cutting for me? Because there is another step to it, okay? So let's go back to upload, and we're going to go to upload image right there, and we're going to browse, and it's going to open up a new dialog box, and this is where we're going to search for our downloads. So here's the downloads, like we looked at before, the Royal Treat box, and you will see that there you get a couple options, and this is important to make note of, because you'll get a PDF option that is not going to work in Design Space. You also get a JPEG, which is an image. It will work, but it's really not the SVG file that you're looking for. And so you have to use this the open button for this file folder. It says SVG. Teddy, and you'll end up with our 3 pieces that we need to bring in. So we've got the crown gold foil, we've got the shield band white, and then the crimson. So we need to open up each individual one of these. So there's our gold, so we have to open that up, and then we go back to upload images, and we have to open up the white, and then we have to go back and open up the red. Okay, now we have all 3 pieces of this file in our little library. But what we have to do is we have to create a file, a Design Space file, so that we can cut it. So think of this as a library that you can come to and pick your uploaded images, and then the file is something altogether different. So we need to choose all 3 of these, and we just click on them and go down here and we do Insert Images. And my very slow laptop, but it will eventually get there. Thanks, Susan. All right, so here are our 3 pieces. So you'll see we've got the red piece here, and we've got the white piece here, and then this gold piece. This is sized at this size. So as is, it will not cut on the Joy. And the reason being is that the largest piece, which is the red piece, is just too big. So if you want to cut for the Joy, what you need to do first, what I would recommend doing is to separate these 2 pieces, this little rectangle and this main piece. And you can do that by sometimes you can do that by ungrouping it, but in this case you can't. So what you need to do, okay, let me just go back. Okay, so what you need to do, I don't want to do that. I want to keep those lines similar. So what you need to do is duplicate this first, because we're going to create 2 separate red files, okay? So we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to put one aside for right now. And then the second, the original one, what we're going to do is we're going to contour. And this is, remember we talked about this last week. So sometimes things are grouped together and you can't ungroup them. So you have to use contour to get them ungrouped. So in this case, I've selected it, and I'm going down here on the right-hand bottom. This is contour, and basically contour is to hide pieces of a cut. So in this case, we want to hide this rectangle. Okay, so we're going to just click on it, and it hides it, and now it's no longer there, which is great. But we have to put those dashed cut lines back, or else we'll end up having, you know, the dash cut lines be these phantom cut lines. So we have to attach them. All right. So now we have this, but we don't have the bottom piece because we need the bottom piece. So in this particular one, we're going to contour this one. First, we're not going to need the, okay, let me just move this so it's easier to see. Move over here. Okay. So in this particular case, we're going to do contour again. And instead of just hiding that one piece, we want to hide this whole piece, which also has these little cuts in it. So we're going to use the hide all. And actually, hide all doesn't really hide all. It hides all but one. And in this case, it's the largest piece. So we want to click on this piece, which is what we want, and then click on this piece to hide that big piece. That makes sense. So it hides all those pieces, or you can do it the other way, but the other way, it's a lot more clicking, okay? And when you come back, here's my individual piece. This is important if you're going to resize this. If you're not going to resize it, you don't have to go through this, okay? But if you want to do it on the Joy, you have to basically create like a stacked version, which is what I'm doing here. I'm stacking all the pieces on top of each other. You see that? Some of them you cannot see, but that's okay. You can see them by using the arrange thing and sending it to the front if that helps you. It doesn't really matter because what we're going to do is we're going to group this together so that we can size the file so all the pieces get resized smaller. Okay, so we're going to remember we have our full version. Well, actually we don't. I think I deleted it by accident. But we have we have a full version that we can do from our uploads, and we'll do that. But so this is the version that we're going to do for Joy. And so you have to select all of them together. They all have to be selected so that you can size them and they all fit with one another. Now you notice up here under the width, it says it's 11.3, and on the height it says 6.417. But if you've been following me for a while, you know that if you're going to do it on the Joy, you have to have one of the measurements has to be under 4.25. This card, Cindy, is from 3dsvg.com. Oh, no, my pleasure, Emmy. So 3dsvg.com, which is called Dreaming Tree, Cindy, and it's free. Okay, so now I've got all of them corralled into my little group, and I am going to resize them. So I'm looking up here under the width and the height. So one of these two cannot exceed 4.25. So I take the lesser. So in this case, it's going to be the height, 6.4, and I've got to change that to 4.25. And because it's locked, the image is locked, which you know down here on the left-hand side, it shows a little lock button. Because it's locked, when I make a change to the height, it's going to automatically proportionately change the width, which is great. If you were to unlock it and do this, you'd end up with a distorted image, which sometimes you want, but in this case you do not. So we're going to go up here and change the height to 4.25, or you could use the up and down arrows, but this is easier. And you'll notice that our entire grouping shrinks to the other size, okay? And there you go, and that's it. And from this point on, you'll notice that over here on the right-hand side, those little warning signs have disappeared because now it fits within a Joy cutout, okay? And then again, if you don't have a Joy and you want to cut it full size, all you need to do really, once you upload those images, let's just kind of undo it. You don't even need to do the contour here. Is simply you have to attach those dashed cut lines, and you just do that by hitting this paper clip. Okay. Now, let me also speak to this part here. This is like this little shield here, which you can do either writing or print then cut here. So, no, Wanda, unfortunately, unfortunately, some designers do that, like SVG Cuts and Laurie Whitlock. They store them all together. This particular designer does not, and sometimes there are like 10 or 11 different pieces that you have to upload, and that makes it very difficult, and I apologize, but really nothing I can do about it, at least as far as I know. If somebody knows differently, let me know. Okay, so here is the shield. Now, you don't have to put Happy Father's Day. You could maybe, if somebody's having a birthday and you want to put that on there. Someone yesterday told me they did this in pink, and it was I think it was a birthday. So they did it in pink. Somebody was having like a princess party or whatever. So you could do it that way. And they leave it open for you to do whatever you want. For this particular case, I did Happy Father's Day. And all I needed to do for that was go over here to the text box. And if you notice in mine, I have two different fonts. I have the Happy and then the Father's Day here. So I could do that, or I could do it all in one. That's up to you. But when you hit text, you get this little box down here. Let me move it up. Let's see if I can move it up, because I know sometimes things get blocked out. Come on. Okay. So wherever I have that little text box, I'm just going to type in what I want it to say, and semi in the way that you want it to do. So I say that because, like, I want it to be stacked like this: Happy Father's Day. Okay. And so I'm going to type it Happy, hit the return button, Father's Return Day. Okay. And what you end up with is this. This is what you typed in your little box, okay? So it is a cut file. It is not a draw file at this point. So you're going to have to change, if you want it to be a draw file, you're going to have to change it. And also what I like to do is I like to center it as well. So to center your text box, you go to this pull down thing called alignment, okay? And you center it. So that you're starting off that way. Now I want to change it to a right. To a draw file. So that you do up here by the font. You choose a font, and this one automatically defaults to Cricut Sans, Sans or Sans, whatever. And then if you hit on the fonts, you get all of the fonts that are available. But these are all that are available. Not all of them are part of Cricut Access. So that's one thing you have to consider. Unless you purchase it, it might not be available to you because it might not be part of Access. And there are a lot of fonts in here. And by the way, if you install your own fonts, which I can show you separately, they would appear here as well. Okay, so if you wanted to just look at the Cricut fonts, the ones that most likely will be all on part of Access, not all of them, but most of them, you'll notice that there's an A next to the name of the font, actually just below the name of the font. And then you get like sort of an idea of what that font's going to look like. So, and I got all the Cricut ones by hitting the Cricut. But so what you're going to look at, and you can look at these if you want, but really if we're going to change that font from cut to writing, really we need to look and make sure that the font has a writing style, and it does say there. It will say single layer cutting, multi-layer cutting, and then it will give you the choice writing. So for instance, if I wanted to use, Let me just find one that I know is we did algebra the other day, so let's choose a different one. So I'm going to just kind of scroll. I think here's one. This one's called Awesome. So let's choose that, Awesome. And it's a writing file. So when I click on that, you'll notice that our text box that we created has changed to writing. Okay? So just because you may be able to change whatever happens to be the cut to writing, you do need to do this step. You have to change it to writing because otherwise it will cut it out for you. Okay. So, and we'll talk, I think we should have a little tutorial on text and fonts. But, for this particular case, you might say, this is good. This is what I want. Or you can, go through and you could spend a lot of time choosing fonts is my point. And you have to always make sure that it's writing and so you can attach it. So I'm just going to go through and look for something that I think would be better than what we chose. Let's see, multi-layer. I'm still looking for writing. Okay, so here's writing. Dear John. That's kind of funny. And make sure the style is writing. So here's the font and here's the style. The difference being font is the actual font, and then each of the fonts have different attributes. You can do it regular, bold, italic, or writing. They can have up to 5 different kinds of styles, okay? So we want to make sure we choose writing for this case. But you notice that something weird really happens to this font when you choose writing. So just because it's available doesn't mean that it's going to be what you want. So you will spend some time going through this, and I like this one here. It's kind of like old-fashioned-y, right? So I like this one. I think this one would be good. Now, to take this one step further, if you wanted to change the font for and have different fonts, like this one here, I have 2 different fonts. I would create 2 separate text boxes for this, okay? So I would create 2 separate text boxes for this. But in this case, I'm going to keep it simple. Now I need to resize my text box so that it's going to fit on my piece. So here is my text box. You can see here, I'm moving it around. It's separated from that piece. So we want to make it so that it kind of looks placed. It's not going to be too wide on the image, okay? So I like the way that this looks. There are certainly a lot of tricks that we could do, but for this particular lesson, let's just keep it simple. And then we'll talk about things like font size, line type, line spacing, even the advanced things of curving, which I think is still here. Oh no, for some reason, curving is no longer available. I don't know why. But you can also ungroup 2 letters, ungroup 2 lines, and those are all really cool tricks. But to start off with any kind of, font or text, it's good to start with the basics, and that's what we're doing today, okay? Yes, you can also filter for a writing font. But so let's say we chose this one. I like this one. And so we're going to put it where we think it should go, which in this case, I kind of like it. I use this little cutout, this little tiny circle cutout to sort of align in the middle of that shield. And when I think, okay, this looks like what I want, then you're going to select it. Make sure you're just selecting those 2 pieces, okay? So you're selecting it, and you have to attach the writing to the cutout. So here, go down here to the paper clip and hit attach. And now if you move this around, you'll see that they move around not independently anymore, but together. So when you go to to cut and write this out, it will cut with those letters on that piece. And so someone asked me yesterday, you know, how do I incorporate writing into my file? This is how you would incorporate writing into your file. So when you went to go make it, okay. Because we're using the larger file. All right, so let me just switch it to Maker. So when you went to go make it, you'll notice on this page, there's our shield and it has the writing. So when you got to this mat in the making process, the machine will prompt you, whether it's the Joy, Explorer, the Maker, they're all the same in this regard, is that the machine will prompt you to put in the writing. It does the writing first and then the cutting. So it will prompt you to put in a pen. You put in a pen and hit go, or go wherever you hit and go, and it would do the writing, and then you put in the case of the Joy, you'd have to put your blade back in, or in the case of like Maker Explore, you would just not have to replace anything, and then it will just go on to the cutting. And that is the basic way. Again, there are a gazillion ways to manipulate fonts and to do things like with vinyl, to change the location of the text. But this is very basic. If you're just trying to, I just need to figure out how to put something on my cut file. This is it. Okay. So I'm going to close this up and just show you how this goes together. It's a really fun, very simple project. So it is, as I mentioned, it's really just this one big piece, and this is the bottom of it. And then we've got our two crowns that I cut out in glitter. And then we've got our white pieces, which I've also lettered, similar to what we were doing, and this little piece that ends up underneath the crown. So first thing first, and I have some rhinestones, and I can show you that too. So first things first, we have to fold it in all the cut or the dashed cut lines here. So it's just a box, so it has, you know, the four sides plus the tab, and then it also has these bottom pieces. That's how we're going to put the bottom of the box on. So the first thing that we want to do, we want to close up the box. We're going to put glue here on this tab. So put it in, not a ton of glue, remember, you can always add, but it's hard to take it away. So put some glue there, fold in the tab, and press this way. We want it to be squared off. So this is why I recommend doing it on a flat surface like that. And you can sort of be able to fold it and it's not like warped. This is going to make the bottom so much easier to do. And while it's flat, we can put our other pieces on just as simply as glue. Okay, so the crown, the glitter part goes on front and back. We're just lining it up, easy peasy. Whoops, except I keep moving it around. Okay, so there's the front. Flip it over and do the back piece. And this is an opportunity too. If, for instance, you were having like, I don't know, a Father's Day brunch and you had more than one father there, you could personalize the back by creating a duplicate of the shield, and for have it be Dad C, like my sister used to call Dad C and Dad Z. My sister's last name starts with a Z now, and so she would always have Father's Day brunch, and she would put things on there. Dad C for Cavicchio, my dad, and Dad Z for her last name. And so, that was her way of distinguishing, which you could also do here, or for even a larger event for that matter. So here's the white piece that we're going to put on there. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of glue on there. And I like to put this piece on before I put the shield on, and I'll tell you why. Because when I put this piece on, I want to line it up to, I have a little extra glue. You guys are going to do better than I am as far as the glue goes. But I like to line up this kind of the cutout here and that little circle so that I can line it up with this other circle there. See? So I don't want it to, I want it to be centered. So put a little bit of glue on the shield part. We're actually almost done. I'm lining it up so that it looks centered. Yep, centered. And now all you have to do is at this point, you can put little rhinestones on there if you want, or you can wait until after. It's up to you. These little holes that are cut out are where I've been putting the rhinestones, and I have a whole box of these little rhinestone things that you can, glue on. Super simple. Or you can leave it blank. I've left them blank before, then that's fine. Or, it's up to you. And red looks good, but I liked that this had, like an emerald color and an onyx color and like a diamond, a ruby, and I don't know what that one is, topaz or something. So this is where you would put those, and you could certainly put it on the back too. That's up to you, and embellish it as much as you want. All right, so now the last part is doing the bottom. And so there's our bottom piece. That's the only one left. We're going to put glue on all of these little tabs. And this is where lining it up correctly is going to be to your advantage, because if you didn't work on your flat surface and line it up correctly, it would be kind of hard to put the bottom piece on and have it be squared off, okay? So then we're going to take the piece, I'm going to put the textured side out, and this is the kind of thing that needs 2 hands. Make sure that it's lined up really, really well, all right? And give the glue a little tiny minute to grab, and then you can turn it over on your flat surface. And as you know, I always use something like my glue bottle to kind of make sure that that inside where the tabs are really adhered to the box. Okay, and that's it. So simple, really, I think eye-popping, eye-catching. I could see having, a little Father's Day or birthday dinner and having these on everybody's plate, or maybe a special little gift that you drop off to your father or your father-in-law, filled with like little treats or something, especially this year when, we're not supposed to be having a lot of gatherings. But this is one of those really fun projects to keep in your arsenal and think differently about. Like I said before, someone suggested doing it in pink and making it a princess party. You could maybe do pink and silver even, or whatever color you want to choose, white, but red seems so regal, okay? So that is today's tutorial. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you everyone for coming today. And remember that you can pick this up at 3dsvg.com, and you can customize it to make it available to cut on your Joy, which is this little one, or you can cut it as is, and this is the size. I just think they're so cute, and they're really fun. And what's great is after the event or whatever you make it for, they just look good on a shelf or on the windowsill. So cute. So, and this is a free file. Again, it's at 3dsvg.com, and you can download there for free, and then you bring it into Design Space and you can make whatever adjustments you want to make and make it your own. So that's it for today. I'm trying to think. I think tomorrow I'm going to attempt the Mega Star. I'm trying to fix, if you've noticed today, I'm in a different format, and I'm trying to get that fixed because I normally can video in horizontal or landscape, but this particular time, yeah, it does. It's really cute. This particular time, ever since I updated my phone, I'm having a hard time videoing live in landscape. So I might try something different tomorrow and pre-record it. I'm not sure, but I want you to see it in a landscape version, and it's really big. It's like huge. I don't know if I have even the directions. Oh yeah, here it is. So here's the directions for the Mega Star from SVG Cuts. It is huge. You could certainly make it smaller, but it takes up, I think it was like 15 pieces of cardstock. And it is just enormous, and it looks so beautiful hanging from a ceiling. I'm going to put mine on the porch ceiling so when people come in they can see it, and it will have some movement too. So I want to show you how to do that. And then so tomorrow's Thursday. We also are going to show you how to do these sort of center folding cards that open up like this, sort of like an accordion type of thing. These are great for an A2 envelope as well. And then on Saturday night, we're going to be working on infusible ink. We're going to do some infusible ink demonstrations to show you some of the new colors, and then we'll also try the pens, because I know people really are interested in the pens, and they are fun to work with. So we'll do that on Saturday night. Okay, so as always, thank you so much for coming today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Feel free to share this or to tell somebody about us working on trying to develop an even bigger audience, even though I like my small audience too. So but just kind of get the word out about Miss Rita to the rescue. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.